their new chips and the troubling macro environment. She said some adjustments will be necessary. Our next guest saying his company is going to continue to set the pace for innovation in the sector, increasing investment in electric vehicles. Qualcomm CEO Cristiano Amon joins us now from Las Vegas. Cristiano, Happy New Year. Want to talk about autos, and you got an interesting car behind you, but I got to start on the macro. We just heard from Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, not long ago, hours ago, saying that there's a need for short-term efficiency despite his long-term bullishness for demand in tech. How quickly have you at Qualcomm had to shift your posture toward some targeted job cuts and a hiring freeze, and how much is the landscape still shifting?
Happy New Year to you too, John. Maybe I'll go back to what we said in the last earnings call. We did see, as we head into 2023, the macroeconomic environment. We actually had about three factors on our business. One was, of course, the macro. The other one was inventory in the channel coming from the supply chain constraint. And then you have the China lockdown. And we had indicated at that time we're going to be very active managing operating expenses, but we're kind of on our plan. And the silver lining, I think they're of one of those three factors. I think China lockdown seems to be going into a better direction. So maybe that, handset market, could show signs of improvement. We don't know. We'll see. And, in fact, as we continue to diversify the company to auto and IoT, we're actually hiring in some areas.
Okay. Now, let's talk about what you're announcing there at CES. Snapdragon Ride Flex. Now, you were here for your Auto Investor Day here in New York a few months ago. We're talking about your work on EVs and also on automated driving systems. This is putting that digital cockpit, that ADAS, into one chip. Why is that important based on what customers are demanding?
Well, let me step back a little bit as I answer this question. We are all in on auto. We have been very committed to diversifying the company. Auto is one of those vectors. The CES show has become a very important auto show. We're all in. We actually have 5 announcements. For the first time, right behind me, you see the Qualcomm concept car. I wish you were here to see it. It's like you would not expect a company like Qualcomm unveiling a concept car that shows everything that is possible with the Snapdragon digital chassis. The other announcement we made, as you mentioned, the Flex, which is the first time you can have both a digital cockpit and ADAS on a single chip. We announced the product. We had a momentum for our next generation Snapdragon Ride, which is our Gen 2 for autonomy, is now sampling to every single tier 1 of the industry. And a couple more exciting things. I was on the stage with Sony Honda Mobility as they unveiled a new car with Snapdragon digital chassis, and we announced a partnership with Salesforce, which has been building their cloud system into Snapdragon. As now, for the first time, the car companies are going to do CRM and be interacting with their customers through those screens.
Okay,
it's a great opportunity in auto.
So, Cristiano, what impact do you expect this macro slowdown to have on EV and automated driving adoption? Are OEMs going to slow that down at all, pace it out the way we see so many enterprise customers trying to pace out their technology deployments?
Look, I'll say that in a very simple way. When you look at the future of the automotive industry and where investors expect automotive companies to be, and what is going to define the winners of the future of automotive is really two things. Are you moving to electrification, and are you becoming digital? The car is really becoming a connected computer on wheels, and I don't think that is going to slow down because it's a necessity for the car company.
Let me try to slip in one more. We always talk about 5G, but we haven't had to talk about 5G in the context of a slowdown. How much of a driver is 5G going to continue to be in 23?
Well, we have seen, the slowdown mostly impacted by the size of the handset market. Now, and with that, we actually even brought our numbers down based on the fact that the mobile market is smaller because of the macro. But that had not stopped the transition to 5G as a percentage of devices. So devices continue to upgrade to 5G, and we continue to see this trend that we've been talking about years. The next phone people buy, they expect it to be a better phone.
And you get a bigger share of the dollar build in those phones when they've got 5G, I recall. Cristiano Amon, CEO of Qualcomm, thank you for joining us from CES.